What are some of the common challenges that hinder like productivity? And I guess, and then how can you avoid or address these?
What's a common challenges that hinder productivities? Probably just really no communication and they go on a wrong path of
Mhm.
analytics, right? So that's usually a common challenge that I find is not understanding this problem statement and they continue
Okay.
to investigate down really deep before they check back in with you. So
Mhm.
that's a common problem. Usually, when I notice that when people have that kind of problem, whoever may have that kind of problem, what I would do is I will set up short recurring meetings so that,
Mhm.
that enables checking in frequently. And I usually ask my team member once I finish describing a problem statement or the work I need them to do or the instructions. I tend not want to give instruction. I tend to give like a holistic scope. Have them repeat back to me in their own words in different ways to show me that they actually understood.
Mm.
That's what I tend to do because that's when you also realize that maybe there's misalignment because they will add in different things or they will extrapolate or they would say it in such a way that you realize, oh, they really don't understand because they're just saying exact same words back to you. When somebody's mirroring you, they are mirroring you either intentionally or they just don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. So you got to know when that, or yeah, understand when that's happening. It's going to be the challenge.
Depending, you can pretty much tell. You mirror people because you want to gain their acceptance.
Yeah.
Like I'm tilting my head to mirror yours.
Oh,
So
brilliant.
So that tend to be the most common challenge because when they interpret the problem statements incorrectly or not understanding what they're supposed to solve, they tend to bring back the wrong work. And then you
Mm.
have to restart, right? So to be able to nip that in the bud, you need to know who you're working with and how they are understanding you.
Yeah.
And again, it comes back down to communications and it's really not data.
Yeah. So when did well, I mean, why do you think most? Obviously, we touched about a lot of communication, so obviously that's a key.
Hmm.
Yeah, key topic. I mean, why do you think some leaders just or businesses just struggle with the leadership, like leadership or communication aspect? Is it lack of listening? Do you think it's the big problem, or because
Not
it's obviously
engaged.
big? That's a big, obviously it's a big issue, isn't it? Really, like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's always the debate about is a lack of good leaders on the market. It's always discussed across businesses. And obviously, it's not easy, is it? Moving from being that technical expert, whether it's you've been a marketing expert, data expert, and then to move into this like leadership role where it's you're moving away from your expertise, aren't you? And you're moving into more the emotional intelligence, the soft skills element. What? So, do you think it's just where? Just to end, where do you think big people leaders go wrong on that respect?
Where do you think people go wrong in this area?
Yeah, like leaders, like I said, the
It's,
communication side of things, because that's
I
if
think,
you're communicated, if leaders communicate people, you get results quicker, wouldn't you? And
yeah,
in my
yeah,
opinion,
yeah. I would actually sacrifice technical expertise for high level emotional intelligence because you can rent technical expertise. You can lease technical expertise
yeah,
and then
well, that's also it.
yeah. Yeah, you can do that easily, but then emotional intelligence and EQ is not something you can actually rent. It comes
Yeah,
with practice and comes with self analysis and self awareness.
yeah,
So I think you're talking about leaders who were individual contributors, and because they did so well, they became
mm,
leaders without having the training or
yeah,
the development to be a leader. So they got
mm,
promoted for their technical skills. So it's time to get some leadership development. And I know a lot of technical people just don't think that's really important and put that aside. That's actually one of the most important things is to develop your leadership skills, get trained on it, have EQ. And if you are short on time, hire an executive coach.
mm,
And that's when you are going to find your superpower. I found my superpower after I stopped being a data and subject matter expert. And then
Mm.
realized my superpower actually lies more in terms of persuasion, communication, and understanding the psychology. And the world really changed for me because then all the technical people came to me and asked me, what should I do? Because
Yeah.
when comes, we are all honest with ourselves, our concerns, our fears are never about the work we're doing. It's
Mm-hmm.
always about how we feel. And
Mm-hmm.
we can get there if we're honest with ourselves, if we see somebody we can emulate and then say, I can be that too. Because you can be both. This is a skill
Mm-hmm.
that can be learned. It just needs a little time. Like this thing I was just talking about, I learned this.
Yeah.
I didn't know that if I mirror the person I'm talking to, it would make them to be more open-minded to me. I had no idea that was the case until I studied it, right? So skills that can be learned, communication classes can be taken about how to be persuasive. Remember all
Yeah.
those long emails that you get from your data people with a lot of numbers, a lot of bullets and numbers?
Yeah.
Remember that? And then sometimes even a copy and pasting in Excel table, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember any of those emails and what they are telling you? No. So I learned that any email, it should be shorter than 200 words. 200 words.
Yeah.
Okay. Try telling that to an analyst. Tell them that they need to summarize their analysis with only 200 words. No tables. Scary.
Yeah.
But if you can do that, I'm pretty sure you can tell a story. And if you can tell a story, then you are already on that path to become that empathetic leader that you're meant to be.
Yeah. Because you want that, I guess, that warmth type of personality, don't you? There, people are happy to come to you and gonna know or gonna get the help they need, aren't they? Really. So, cool, cool. All right, brilliant. Well, that's, yeah, I think we could wrap it up there. Obviously, I really appreciate you being on, and obviously, great, provided some great insights. And I hope all the listeners have enjoyed the podcast. Thank you, Peilin. It's really been enjoyable having you on.
Ben, it has been fun. I did not realize we're going to talk so much about EQ, but I love talking about EQ with you and looking forward to the next conversation. Thank you so much for having me.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you.